Hey guys, Marsing here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we had the announcement over the weekend that we are finally getting the release of LR ZAMASU on Global. LR Merge ZAMASU, Fusion ZAMASU. So basically we are getting the second part of the Tanabata stuff, right? Because this is the Tanabata celebration as it appeared on JP with the release of like Vegeta and Trunks. Obviously we've had already the EZA for Vegito Blue and Rose, the Chain Battle, the Super Strike revamp for King Vegeta. Now a lot of people, when these first news update for part 1 was posted, obviously noticed the fact that some of this extra stuff was missing. But as you can see on JP, like the LR EZA for Trunks and Mai, and Tech Goku Black and Zamasu, and then I think it was, oh no, that was the week earlier as well. These released a week after this stuff on JP anyway, so we are pretty much still in the same timeline for this. So whilst it hasn't been announced, I'm expecting to see at the reset tonight, which is also when the maintenance begins. So we might not actually get a chance to see it in game, but all the sites that pull down the data should have it all available. So hopefully we should get these two EZAs confirmed as well. New stage of Extreme Super Battle Road was added. I don't know if this was the Goku family one at this time, because obviously when Global and JP often get mixed up, we're always going to get the next stage in order, even if JP had gotten a different one during that celebration, right? So we know from the news update today that this is going to be the Goku family Extreme Super Battle Road stage. Should be pretty straightforward, but again, we'll get that confirmed in the news tonight. And then, yeah, the release of LR Fusion ZAMASU. So as always, before a banner, I do one of these summon or skip videos. We'll talk about the unit, we'll talk about the banner a little bit. And as I always say in these kind of videos, obviously if you're somebody who you really want this unit, either because you're a big ZAMASU fan or you've just seen the videos from when he released on JP and you know you already really want him, or if you're a big whale or obviously like a content creator, you're going to summon for them anyway, right? So this video is more so for the people who are free to play or who don't, you know, spend a little bit but not really a lot. Now, one thing we don't know yet, because we haven't had a data download, I assume all of this stuff is going to be packaged in with the maintenance. There is obviously the possibility that Global gets some kind of purchasable ticket pack for the Legendary Summon. That does happen quite a lot. So obviously if you're somebody who does spend a little bit of money, those tickets are always good value based on buying them as opposed to just buying stones outright. So we'll have to wait to see whether that is going to be the case. Plus also we don't know, this could just be a normal yellow coin legendary summon banner, which if it is, pretty much confirms. I did a video, was it yesterday, talking about the potential for the end of December schedule and whether they're going to start dropping superhero stuff. I would say if this banner is coming out as a normal yellow coin banner, it pretty much guarantees that something special is going to happen at the end of December, right? Because we're used to getting some sort of double rates like the Divine Carnival. Now obviously last year for Global, Hidden God Goku was repackaged as the Divine Carnival, so it's like double rates. Obviously we know since the worldwide update it's going to be for the new Carnival coins as well. So this ZAMASU banner could be the Carnival banner, which means it will have double rates and the Carnival coins. Hopefully if that is the case, they finally add in the feature to be able to exchange Carnival coins. But that's going to make an interesting difference. The banner itself could be different if it is a Carnival banner as well, so that's something to bear in mind. I can't imagine the banner is going to be very different, especially if it is a yellow coin one. If it's a Carnival one, I don't know if it's early enough in the schedule yet that we would see like Metal Cooler and Super Saiyan Goku return, so I feel like the banner probably won't change either way. But something to bear in mind, obviously with these banners, they always can be hit or miss. If it's double rates, you obviously have a much better chance. But that's something you'll have to weigh up as well. So if we take a look at the unit himself, the unit is actually very good. I think most people sort of agreed in general he was the best yellow coin LR when he released on JP. The only problem with him, and obviously we've been doing videos recently on like the STR Rose, we had the AGL Goku Black that released on the Trunks and Vegeta banner. The biggest problem with these units is they're in a bit of a weird place in terms of teams at the moment. Because if we look at Zamasu's categories, he obviously is on a lot of teams. But he doesn't have any 200% leader skill teams at the moment. At least I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He didn't get one. Definitely didn't get one with Hearts. I don't think he's had any extra ones. So some of these units like STR Rose, after doing all the showcases of his EZA, I am actually really impressed with how good he is only on a 170 team. So once these guys get a 200% lead, they're obviously going to be a lot better. But even based on the fact that when he released on JP, he only had the 170 lead, Most people considered him one of the best yellow coin LRs, if not the best. So on his 18 key super, he greatly raises attack and defense. He does mega colossal damage and greatly lowers attack. And then he also greatly raises on his 12 key super attack as well. So obviously any additional supers, you're getting that 50% raise again. Does colossal damage and lowers attack. He has a leader skill, Worldwide Chaos or Patara, 4 key and 150. So obviously he's from that era. These yellow coin LRs still only having the lower leader skill. Hopefully we see these go up. Now that we're getting Carnival LRs that have the straight 200%, hopefully newer yellow coin LRs, they'll potentially start moving towards 170, but it means you're probably not going to use this guy as a leader very much. But he has an entrance animation. He gets 1 extra key per key sphere obtained for 5 turns from the start of the turn when there's another Patara ally on the same turn. He randomly changes orbs to int orbs, so obviously, especially in those first couple of turns, going to be quite easy to get his 18 key super. He has attack and defense 100% and 20% damage reduction. Then he gets an additional attack and defense 50% when performing a super. He launches a guaranteed additional super when you do his 18 key super. So obviously, bearing in mind his super attack effects, that is really good because he's always going to double super if you're getting the 18 key. He also has attacks effective against all types when you get to 24, which again, in the early turns, especially if you're getting good orb changing off of his passive, this won't necessarily be super difficult, especially with units around him like STR Rose giving him loads of extra key. And then he gets an additional damage reduction of 2% within the same turn with each attack received up to 10%. So it's not really a lot, but after a double super, he already has 20% damage reduction. He's getting these 2 massive defense buffs, so he's probably going to tank most of the normal attacks, even against difficult bosses, for double-digit damage. But this can help you if you're in a situation where he's taking, say, 4 or 5 attacks and the last one is a super. Then obviously he's building up this little bit of extra damage reduction. He also gets an extra key each time he receives 5 or more hits, up to 5 key, and that is permanent. He recovers 10% HP at the end of the turn, in which he received a 5th attack or higher. So obviously if he takes like 4 attacks on turn 1, even if he takes like 3 attacks on turn 2, he's going to get it at the end of that turn. He also has a great chance of evading unarmed super attacks and countering with tremendous power. So 70% super attack counter against unarmed super attacks. He also has an active skill, massively raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage, and is a guaranteed stun for 1 turn. So obviously useful in like Super Battle Road or something. However, it can only be activated after he performs 5 or more super attacks. So even in Super Battle Road, obviously if you're getting his 18 key, he guarantees to do 2 supers a turn. You'd still need to get the additional from his hidden potential on turn 1 or 2 to then be able to do it on his 3rd appearance, which in Super Battle Road, even if he's on turn 1, that's going to be, what, turn 5? Chances are the fight's going to be over by then. So, pretty standard links for a Fusion ZAMASU. He does have big bad bosses, which obviously is good. So, overall, the unit itself, very good, and I think definitely worth having. One thing to be aware of as well, if you are going to summon, I brought up the TUR and the the SSR pages. These medals are all available now. This is the AGL ZAMASU, the Int Goku Black, and the STR Rose. And then for the SSR, you need the Tech Mode ZAMASU, Physical Goku Black, and AGL Rose. All of these events are available at the moment. So if you're watching the video when this comes out, before the maintenance, if you've got nothing else to do, and you are going to pull for him, you can get all of these medals now. So then once the maintenance ends and the banner comes out, if you do pull him, you can obviously awaken him straight away. So in terms of the banner, this is how it looked on JP. Obviously his release was after they changed the format to having 2 other featured LRs, which obviously is the format we have already on Global as well. So you had the new Fusion ZAMASU, and then we have Int Goku Black and STR Tapion and Minosha. So both of these 2 LRs, a little bit outdated. Int Rose never really got that great chance to shine, because even when he came out, he didn't really have like a top meta level link partner. And a lot of people found it difficult to rate his placement when he first came out. I know Truth was super high on him being the best unit in the game until, you know, went around and did all the events. It was basically him in contention with the 5th anniversary LR fusions, and I know most people considered them to be better, but Int Rose definitely still very solid. An easy A for him, especially if it comes around the time that these units actually do get a 200% lead. I can imagine he's going to be pretty crazy, so if you don't have him, getting a copy of him off this banner is definitely not the worst thing. And then Tapion and Minosha are kind of in a similar situation. They don't really have a team. Their only really good link partner is AGL Tapion, so you're kind of limited to running that rotation. The tech one will eventually get an Easy A, and I guess hopefully will be good, right, to give you another option. But again, it's an LR, doesn't have an Easy A, probably won't be for a while, but if you don't have him, could be worth getting a copy. Obviously, all of the other LRs are unfeatured in the banner, aside from the Carnival ones and Dokkan Fest ones, obviously. And when it comes to the SSRs, all 4 of these trunks is on the top row. I think this one can still be kind of useful, the Broly movie Super Saiyan one, for some events with the stun. But remember, all 4 of these trunks, none of them have an Easy A yet. So I can see this STR one becoming really good again if he gets an Easy A. I guess same with the Int Mai as well. The only ones who are kind of already, you know, gone and forgotten is the Father-Son Gallic Gun support units, because they already have an Easy A, and unfortunately even with a 200% lead are not particularly good in the current meta. So, but any of the top ones could be useful to get copies of, right, for the future when they do get an Easy A. But as usual with legendary summon banners, obviously the banner itself is not particularly great, and the only reason you really are summoning on it is to try and get the headliner. So one thing to bear in mind, I did bring up their page here, is obviously if we do get the Easy A announced for these guys are incredibly good. They can sit in slot 1 and get some build up, do the defensive work, so that Fusion ZAMASU can go off in slot 2, get that additional super, build up his defense. So this rotation is really, really powerful. Obviously, if we are getting their Easy A as well, I'll do a video, not just with the team building guide, but obviously showing them off. But these two together are going to be really, really good. So if you already have these guys, especially with some dupes and maybe already link leveled, then pulling ZAMASU is obviously going to be very beneficial to you. So these are some of the things you have to bear in mind. Obviously, going back to that video that I put up yesterday and what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I still think, especially if this isn't going to be a carnival, the Divine Carnival banner, then something special is definitely coming out before the end of the year. There's no other reason why they would bring all of this stuff up as early as they have, because for me, the release date for this is going to be the 12th, the morning of the 12th. So we are still, what, 2 weeks away from the slot where the Starry Night, the winter banner with the Tanabata LR and the 2 anniversary LRs. We're still like 2 weeks away from that slot, but we have nothing to go there because we've already had that banner. So that's the biggest thing you have to bear in mind when thinking about summoning on this banner. It is a typical legendary summon banner, which means the banner isn't great. You're just really pulling for 1 LR out of a pretty big pool of units. So you could easily go into these legendary banners and drop like 500, 600, even 1,000 stones and not pull the new unit. So I would say if you are somebody who's on the free-to-play end, or, you know, don't spend a lot of money, probably not worth dumping a load of stones into this, especially if you've just summoned for Vegeta and Trunks and are running low anyway. Because realistically, at the moment in the current meta, without their own 200% lead, the best team to run them on is going to be, well, at least one of them, is the Trunks and Vegeta team. Which again, even that causes issues, right? Because both the Trunks and Vegetas want to be in slot 1, so having a rotation of Tech ZAMASU and Int ZAMASU means you're going to have a Vegeta and Trunks floating, which could then get you caught out later in the event. So that's the other thing. Even if you do pull him, you have to think about where are you going to use him, what teams, what setups. He still is going to be very good, and obviously if you are on the fence about summoning, hopefully I will pull at least 1 copy of him. We'll do the 55% showcase. We'll try him out in some different events. It's not like you have to summon as soon as the banner comes out. You can kind of wait to see some of the builds. I'll try using him on some different teams to see if it's worth summoning. But yeah, the biggest thing to bear in mind is that we still don't know what is going to come out in the next 2 weeks. So if you spend a little bit and there are tickets, I would recommend getting them if you do really want to pull for him. Maybe if they do like a discounted first multi or something, it could be worth it. But other than that, I would say if you're on the lower end of the spending scale, I would skip this, at least until we know what's coming out in a week or two. Because remember, it's not like this banner's going to be gone in a couple of days, right? You can still wait to decide. So unless you're gung-ho on pulling for ZAMASU, or, you know, you just summon for everybody anyway, I would definitely wait and lean more towards not summoning, depending on what is going to come out towards the end of the month. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you somebody that's been waiting for ZAMASU, so you're going in regardless? Obviously, like I say, if you are going to summon, you can farm all the medals already, so make sure to take advantage of that. And let me know what you guys are planning to do down below. I am going to be live streaming. Obviously, we'll be summoning for him, so hopefully I will see you guys there. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.